Hello, friend, and welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, business strategist, and lover of all things related to up-leveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you experience a mind shift that gets you one step closer to your goals, whatever they are. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 28, Accessing Your Future Self Now. It dawned on me today how often I have said this in my life. I just can't wait to graduate from school, to get married, to be the perfect weight, to get rid of the zit, to get the promotion, to make more money, to have long hair. In fact, I said it on our walk this evening. I can't wait for our first dressage show. As humans, it's human nature to look forward to things in anticipation of them. It's part of the human experience that makes holidays and birthdays and hitting major milestones so much fun. It's the part of the human experience that has us seeking to up-level our lives and create results. That's a good thing. Where we get off the rails is when we think that our life will be better there than it is right now. That we think somehow we will be happier when we get the job, make the money, lose the weight, grow the hair, retire from the daily grind. Thinking that anything outside of you will make you feel better is missing the best part of being human. Choices. So if you can't wait for something, don't. The way that you think you will feel when you get that thing that you just can't wait for is available to you now. In fact, in order to create, invite, attract, or accomplish your future result, you need to access your future self now. When I first learned this concept, my first thought was, this is a little hokey pokey. My second thought was, what do I have to lose? So if this sounds a little wackadoodle to you too, hang with me. I promise I'm going to land this plane nicely. When we start out on our goal journey, we immediately start thinking about how far we have to go, how much time it's going to take, and we go into what I call a state of goals remorse. We start talking ourselves out of it or dismiss it. Your brain throws you thoughts like, you just should have started this earlier, or this is going to take too long, or it's going to be too expensive or too hard. It's going to throw you all kinds of thoughts that make you rethink your goal. Too much money, too much time, you don't know how, all the things. The reason we do this is because we are taking a step toward our future state of being from our current state of being, and there's a little bit of a freak out going on in our current brain. Your current identity is coming face to face with your potential, and she's screaming, "No way, lady." Here's the deal. We are only going to create outcomes equal to our current self-image or current self-concept. So, in short, you have to give yourself time to grow into your future self. You do that by accessing your future self now. Precognition is the science term for it, but it's our ability to predict our own future experiences. It's using our brain, our imagination, to conjure up images of the outcome that we want to create. As children, we are masters at it. We have no problem dreaming of our future self. But something happens to us as adults. We stop dreaming of our future self. We go into surviving the life that has been handed to us. The reason we are living at the effect of what life hands to us is because we stop using our precognition and our imagination. It's still available to us. We just need to tap into it. We actually do use our imaginations as adults. We tend to use it against ourselves. We imagine the worst case scenarios. We imagine failing and feeling like a failure, so we quit ahead of time. As humans, we think we want to create the outcome first, thinking that's how we become the human who has created it. And that's why it's so hard for us. We have it backwards. We are trying to create something new from our old brain. We want to be thin, so we focus on losing the weight before we focus on thinking like a thin person thinks. We have the desire to have a 100K business, and we focus on the money before we focus on thinking like an entrepreneur and learning how an entrepreneur thinks. We make decisions from our current brain with past results as evidence of our future outcome. My mom is the perfect example for this. My mom has struggled with weight most of her adult life. Now at 80, she is a normal sized person. She is actually a slim person. But here's the deal. She had to become a slim woman in her mind first in order to lose the weight in a way that was healthy and that was sustainable and something that she can maintain. Because let me tell you, my mama could lose the weight with the best of them, but then it would always come back. Why? Because she wasn't being a woman who didn't have a weight problem first. She had the self-image and self-concept of a woman who struggled with her weight. And so she was really good at proving that thought true over and over again. For the last 3 years now, she has practiced being a naturally slim woman with thoughts that she manages that predict how she will show up at the table. Over time, the weight left and it never came back. Her weight loss happened in her mind first. It works the exact same way with money. Before you can be a wealthy woman, a woman of money, you have to adjust your thoughts to allow thoughts of abundance, and you must access the feeling of abundance in order to attract abundance. You are going to invite, create, and attract what you spend your time thinking about. It's just a fact. Our thoughts create the energetic state in which you pursue your outcome. Start thinking like a wealthy woman and you will become a vibrational match for wealth. Ruminate on your current state of being and you will create more of that. I know it's hard to be in a space of wanting your heart's desire and feeling like it's so far away, but that is just a thought. Your heart's desire is actually closer than you think. It's time to become a match for the outcome that you want to create. Listen, we are only going to invite, attract, create, or accomplish our result right up to the edge of our own self-concept and self-image and not 1 inch closer. So it's time to up-level that game today. I love anything by Joe Dispenza. 2 of my favorite books are Breaking the Habit of Being You and You Are the Placebo. And in it, he talks about how we lay down new neurological tracks every time we immerse ourselves in thoughts of the person we are becoming. It is how you create your future self. So, what is the first step in accessing your future self? You must know what you want. You can't become a vibrational match to anything if you don't know what you want. The next step is to become a match for what you want. One of my students a couple of years ago, a realtor, we actually used her for our move to Florida. Before we even moved to Florida, she wanted to work together to help make some of her life changes. When I would ask her what she wanted to create, she gave me a long list of what she didn't want. She didn't want to live in the house she was living in, didn't want a man to get in the way of her business, didn't want to be harassed for working evenings and weekends, didn't want a man who needed to be entertained, didn't want to live in Florida. For months, I would ask her what she wanted, but she only knew what she didn't want. Guess what she created more of? Yep. She was dating men who were unavailable to her. She was working in an office she didn't like, living in a house she didn't like, and in her mind, creating a different result was not in the cards. She could not see how it was her thoughts that were creating her result. Here is where the magic happened for her, though. As soon as she was able to stop thinking about what she didn't want and she started thinking about what she did want, she started doing the work to become a vibrational match for what she did want. She saw a total transformation in her life. She started visualizing her dreams coming true. She started working on herself, and she actually became a match for the future that she wanted to experience. She wanted to live in Europe. She wanted to create a real estate business in Europe. She wanted a man who knew and loved her for her love of business and would support her dream. Within months, she met the man of her dreams, and she is now living the life of her dreams in Denmark. I have seen this concept work over and over again, and so trust that it will work for you as well, no matter how far away you feel you are from your goal. You are not as far away as you think, my friend. So what do you want to create? Wake up every day practicing being her. Live into her as much as possible. How does she dress? What does she eat? What does she think? What decisions does she make? Do those things now. Practice being her now. Expanding the image that you currently have for yourself is the work, my friend. And this is different than fake it till you make it. This is accessing your future self a little bit more every day. She's already in there. You just need to go get her. In the show notes, I have added a workbook called Your Future You. It's designed to get you thinking. All right, my friend, I hope that you have the best week ever. That's a wrap of the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. I hope that you were able to experience your own mind shift today. Listen, if you're ready to take this work to the next level, I highly recommend Life by Design Academy. It's my one-on-one coaching program that offers you a transformation at the speed of life.